Hi, it's that fantasy chick back again. It's another week, another stream. And I finished up my binge watch with The Peacemaker, so we'll be talking about that. And I also saw, um, um, Lord, why can't I say it? Blue Beetle. I had a very busy weekend this weekend. I went to my high school alumni, like all class alumni picnic. And And when I say we had an entire park, I don't mean like an actual just your neighborhood park. I mean we had a forest preserve and we had the entire forest preserve and we were everywhere. We had the entire forest preserve. And like it was so many of us we couldn't the all of the parking, and there's a lot of parking in these forest reserves. The parking was we couldn't by the time me and my sister got there because we didn't they were there all day and we were not going to be there all day. We got there like in towards the middle of the day and all of the parking was gone, so we had to park across the street at the mall. And the police were there. They were there, um, guiding us into the parking lot, directing us in and telling us, okay, you guys got to be gone by 7. Like, okay, they've told us multiple times. The picnic is over at 6. We got to be gone by 7 or you're towing. They tell us this over and over and over and over again that we got to be gone by 7 so we can go to, or we're going to get towed. And throughout the picnic, people were getting, the DJ had to get on the mic and be like, if you parked here, you got to move your car. The police are going to tow you. If you parked on the grass, you got to move your car. The police are going to tow you. Like, because there was people who was creating parking spots, people who were double parked, people who were parked in front of people who were parked in front of random buildings, like little outhouses or whatnot. Like you had to move your car. You were going to be towed. Like, the police were going to be out there. The police knew we were going to be there and the police were going to be out there. There was just no getting away with anything that day. So I don't know what anybody was thinking about. One person had the right idea. One person, they took a cab. I don't even know where you get a cab from because we were out in the burbs. So I don't even know where you get a cab from, but this person took a taxi cab to the picnic. And they so they did not have to worry about parking. But it was a fun day. I saw a lot of my classmates from school because like basically how it was set up, you congregated with the people that you graduated from, and then you would go visit other classes. But I didn't. I pretty much went to my class area and stayed there. I didn't walk this year. I didn't walk the area. Sorry. Didn't walk the area. It was too much going on to walk that entire area. So we pretty much plopped down in our area and stayed where we were gonna be. So we saw people as they came through, but we didn't go around and visit nobody. But it was so many. I think as the day went on, like it was pretty chill, and then all of a sudden, just in 30 seconds flat, the people in our area quadrupled. It was like they got us together to take a picture, to take the class picture, and then all of a sudden, after that, people in the area quadrupled. I don't know if it was people just stayed in the area after taking the picture or what, but it was just so many people in the area. So many people. It was so packed and so full of people. But it was fun. It was fun. They had it was a whole weekend. I only went to the picnic because they had a sneaker ball the night before, and then they had an after party the same night. I did not go to either. I was like, I'm good. I'm going to the picnic and I'm good. I don't feel like going to the sneaker ball the night before, and I did not feel like going to the after party that same night, especially knowing that I was going to get up and go to the movies the next day. So I saw people all in my Facebook timeline talking about, oh my goodness, just remember when we used to do this on Sunday instead of Saturday, and we had to go to work the next day. And I do remember when we used to have these on Sundays, because we would stop by after church, and we didn't even stay. We stopped by, swing through, and go home. We didn't even stay. We did a walk around, probably did 15 minutes, say hi to people, and then go on home. hmm Look, it was only 3 more episodes. It was only 3 more episodes. You could have watched that. One could have been Friday, one could have been Saturday, one could have been Sunday. You could have done that this weekend and you would have been golden. Well, it wasn't police security. It was because, we were out in the suburbs. So we had the city, the suburb city police, the town police. They were out there. They were just out there monitoring the parking situation, just to make sure we weren't, like they wanted to tell all the people they could tell. They wanted to get their quota in, I guess, because the DJ was like, they're gonna be telling people, come get your car, and they were like calling out specific cars with specific license plate number. If this is your car, the white Kia, come get your car. They called that car about 7 times. Come get your car, because they gonna come get it. They about to tow your car. They do this every year. They have the sneaker ball before, and then they have the after party afterwards. I never go to either of the parties. I feel like I'm doing a lot just going to the picnic. And I feel like I'm doing a lot by staying at the picnic, because, like I said, the years before, we would just do a round. We would stay for 15 minutes at the picnic, just go be like, hi. We would hi and buy it. So we came and we stayed to the end. So we did a lot this year. We came, we brought a cooler, I brought my chair. We was chilling. We chilled at the picnic this year. We did good. To be truthful, I wasn't sure I was gonna watch them until, because like I said, I was out all day Saturday, and then Sunday I went to Blue Beetle, and I was out pretty much all day with that, and then I came, and it wasn't until Sunday evening that I started watching them. I didn't start watching until Sunday evening. But like I said, once I started watching them, it was only three. So it was just like bing, bang, boom, finished. I finished it real quick. So I really didn't start watching it until Sunday evening. So, so, but but I was like, let me go ahead and watch this show since I said I was gonna watch it. I swear I had it in my head that I said I was gonna finish it up this week because Ahsoka is tomorrow. So Wednesday is Ahsoka. So I'm like, I ain't talking about the Peacemaker on Wednesday. So gotta finish up the Peacemaker before Wednesday. So that's what I was gonna try to go for. Yeah. So I was gonna try my best to finish up before Ahsoka started. So we watched five. We watched five because I watched the first two, then I watched one more saying I'll give it another chance. Then we watched two more that was four and five. We've watched five, and then there was three more, which was six, seven, and nine, or six, seven, and eight. No, we've watched five. So it was like, yeah, so we watched three, we watched two more, which was four and five, and then three more, which was six, seven, eight. So there's only 8 episodes. Yeah. Yeah. But so on to the Blue Beetle. So I watched the Blue Beetle as I watched Blue Beetle yesterday. And I went to go see it because I hadn't seen any trailer. I hadn't seen any pictures or anything. Like when I was in the movies for other movies and the trailer would come on, I had my headphones in, so I didn't see anything about it. So I had seen nothing for this movie. And I really only went to go see it because it was a DC movie. I had no anticipation for this movie whatsoever. But it was good. It was really, really good. I really liked this movie. And I'm going to say it. I want it to be held over into the new universe. I wanted to make it to the new universe. It's it's like he mentions Superman, but I mean, what's his face? James Gunn says he's not doing a young Superman, even though he got rid of Henry Cavill or Cavill, however you pronounce his name, Henry Cavill. He's not doing a young Superman. So since he's not doing a Superman origin story, he's not doing a young Superman. You should be able to fit him into because this movie was so good, and it was his origin story, and it just feels so unfair that you wouldn't be able to see more of him. And then there was the after credit scene. I want to see more of that. It's just I loved it. I like well, you know something? Because I've seen this character before. I've seen him before in Smallville, and he was only in one episode on Smallville, and then I seen him in Young Justice, and so I've seen him in Smallville, I've seen him in Young Justice. I liked him in Young Justice. He was okay in Smallville, but he was only on one episode, so you didn't get a chance to really get attached to him. But on Young Justice, I liked it. This was really good. And right, George Lopez. George Lopez was amazing. When I saw his name, I was like, boy, they put George Lopez in everything, don't they? They put George Lopez in everything, but he was awesome. He was, first of all, I didn't realize he was in the movie until I saw his name in the credit. But once I saw his character, he was nothing what I expected him to be at all. At all. he was he was a complete surprise. So um he was great. The whole family was great. The family dynamic was great. Um the main character was great. The connection, because like the connection back to Cord, because it's always a connection back to the Cord industries or whatnot. This was cool. This is the first time I've seen Jenny Cord. So this was the first. And this was the first time I've seen Lord, the aunt character. Why can't I say her name? Is her name Victoria? I don't know. I can't remember her name. And I can't remember the name of the act, even though I've known this actress my whole life. Why can't I say her name? It's killing me that I cannot say her name. uh, I liked him and the girl. I thought they were cute. I liked, and this I liked the villain. I liked the villain henchman. I liked their stories. Everybody had a story, and everybody's story was three-dimensional, and I liked that. It wasn't just some two-dimensional thing. Everybody was three-dimensional characters. Everybody had something going on. And that's what I loved about it the most was everybody. I think the person to me who had the least characterization, I'm going to say, is the sister. She was definitely comic relief, but she did not have a story like everybody else did. But she was still funny. She was still funny, so she earned her keep. Hmm. But I like the Flash for what it was. I like the Flash for what it was. Um, the whole multiverse and them bringing it in and the whole what if nature of the story. And I don't know, I like the Flash for what it was. Okay, the mom also had zero story, but like the sister, she and her sister had zero story, but they had good characterization. So they held up their end. They held up their parts. but like but everybody else had a story. Everybody had a story. Even if you didn't have a story, you had good characterization. But yeah, this was a very well written movie, and I like that. Um, I there was this was different because the voice was different in here than I've seen in other adaptations of the Blue Beetle, and the way the way the alien adapted to him was also different than other adaptations. I like that. Um, but yeah, other than that, that's all I can say without giving away too much. But I was like, I'm trying to say, what can I say without giving away too much about how much I like this movie? I like the characters. I like the characterizations. I like their stories. Um, it was very deep for a comic book movie. And I like deep comic book movies. We like them deep. Which is why for a very long time my favorite comic book movie was Spider-Man 2, Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2. That was my favorite comic book movie before the comic book and movie implosion happened. For years it was Spider-Man. It's Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2. It held its own. I'm glad it's a movie, but I was sitting in the theater wishing that the uh, whole world didn't just reboot and was like, okay, you need to make it into the new world. You need to make it into the new universe. Because I'm like, you're absolutely fresh and new. You can totally fit into this new universe that he's building. I could so see this fitting into the new universe that he's building. And um there are some rumors flying around. You know how people like to spread internet lies about how it could be possible that he could be carrying it over, but I haven't seen it from a reputable source yet. I'm hoping that he carries it over. I'm hoping James Gunn carries it over. But I think a big part of carrying it over would be as if the movie was successful. But I think it's going to be a victim of these strikes. There was nobody. There was no promotion of it. Nobody promoting of it. Nobody promoting it. There was no promotion of it. Nobody pushing it. So I really don't see. I don't know what the box office numbers were, but it couldn't have been that good. It definitely couldn't have been number one. I just I don't see it beating Barbie the Juggernaut. Um, oh, lowest opening box office. This is so sad because it's the best one this year. It's the best DCEU movie this year so far. We haven't seen Aquaman yet. But so far this year, This is the best DCEU movie this year has been the Blue Beetle, and it's the lowest opening box office because it's a victim of these strikes. There's been no promotion of it, and it really, because it was this brand new character, it really needed heavy promotion, and it had zero promotion. It has zero promotion. They did absolutely nothing to promote this movie. They did nothing to promote this movie. And then want to be surprised that nobody went to go see it. 23 million? Oh my gosh, that's sad. It overtook Barbie. Um, Fourth, because it's August 21st and Barbie started July 21st. So this is like the fourth weekend of Barbie. Dag, 23 million. That's not good at all. That is not good at all. I'm so sad. I'm so sad. Um, it really should have done better. It should have done better. But like I said, they did no promotion of the movie, so what can you do? What can you do? This is about to be a victim. It's about to be a victim of the strikes. Ugh. And it's not going to carry over, even though this sucks so hard. This was a good movie, and it deserves to be seen, and it deserves to be carried over into the new universe. But whatever. Goodness gracious. Okay. Well, enough about my sadness over Blue Beetle. So now talk about the Peacemaker, the last three episodes. So where we left off, um, Homegirl Adebayo had just discovered that Mern was a butterfly, and he had chased her out into the rain. And he was standing menacingly over her, and you're like, Lord, what is he gonna do to her? But I was like, he can't do anything to her. She's Waller's daughter. And of course he doesn't do anything to her because she's Waller's daughter. He's like, I'm not gonna hurt you. So they come in, they have a conversation where he explains to her about, yes, I'm a butterfly. We left our planet because our planet was dying, and we came here, and blah 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 blah. And then our leader wanted to take over, started trying to take over the world, and I disagreed, and I split off from the pack, and so now I'm working to try to stop them. And then Harcourt came in. Of course, Harcourt had already figured out his secret um, when they went to go get Goff. When they went to kill Goff, and the explosion went off, and he got hit by the explosion, but he wasn't hurt. So she figured out that he was a butterfly then. So he told her the whole story then. And so So then, so this is where Harcourt finds out that Adebayo is Waller's daughter, and then she turns to Mern, and Mern's like, "Of course I knew. Of course I did a background check on her and know that she's Waller's daughter." He knew the whole time. but but so so then she was like, "Did you tell her about the cow?" And then they cut to credits. And we don't get to hear about the cow. And this is what happens to me. I watch all 3 episodes together and they're all smushing in together. So I'm trying to figure out, where does the Peacemaker come? The Peacemaker comes in much later. Okay. So they let the Peacemaker's father go because they went over the guy's head and got the what you call it, got the why can't I talk today? They went over her boss's head and got a search warrant for Peacemaker's trailer. Now I don't understand how getting a search warrant, just the act of getting a search warrant, allows her to set the guy, because they hadn't searched the trailer yet. So I feel like she jumped the gun by letting him go. It's like, yeah, you know he's innocent, but you hadn't found anything yet with this search warrant to justify letting him go. It it didn't make sense to me. It didn't make any sense to me, but whatever. She let the white dragon go. And so he goes, his one of his little lackeys pick him up, and he decides he's gonna go home and meet up with all his other lackeys and then plan on killing his son. What do you do? And so she gathers up all of her police force, and they go to execute the search warrant on the trailer. And of course, Vigilante is there, Peacemaker's there. They're arguing, so they don't hear he doesn't hear his phone ringing. Mern is trying to warn him to get out. And of course, all of this is breaking my nerves. So you know what I do? I forward through most of this. I forward through a lot. So I forward through them. I forward through them going back and forth. I forward through them going up onto getting the eagle up onto the roof, and then I see Vigilante grab the butterfly, and they take it with them along up on the roof. What I don't see is how the butterfly gets free. But I'm guessing the idiot must have dropped the glass at some point. The idiot must have dropped the glass at some point, because like by the time I finish forwarding, Song is dead, but then all of a sudden she pops up and she starts referring to her partner as human. I'm like, oh, she's Butterfly. And then at first I thought, was she a butterfly all along? And then I realized, oh no, the golf butterfly got away and got into her. So she's a butterfly now. So Peacemaker and Vigilante finally gets back to the headquarters. And then he finds out about they still don't tell him that Mern's a butterfly, but they find out about the cow. He finds out about the cow and that they have to kill this cow in order to if they kill the cow, which is the source of all the food for all the aliens, then the aliens will die. So that becomes their main mission: find the cow, kill the cow. And somewhere along the way, they realize Adebayo left a journal, left a fake diary at the trailer for the Peacemaker. And after the new song Butterfly calls in all of her butterflies and she takes over the whole police department and all of the inmates, they use the fake journal to frame the Peacemaker for all the murders and tell people, he's on the run, he's wanted, he's this, he's that, he's wanted for trying to kill people, to try to put down an alien invasion, blah, 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 blah. So now that causes tension between Peacemaker and Adebayo because he feels so betrayed. He's so heartbroken because he thought out of all the people in this group, he thought he could trust her. He still doesn't know that she's Waller's daughter, does he? No, I don't think so. And he still doesn't know that Mern's a butterfly. They're still keeping that from him. So the rest of the crew go back to their hotels to pack up. They went back to their hotels to pack up. And it's been a long weekend. Sorry. Okay, so the rest of the crew went back to their hotels to pack up. The butterflies came to get them. And at this point, Peacemaker was on his way to kill the cow, and his father was tracking all the helmets he had. He has GPS trackers and all the helmets, so he was following him so he can kill him and all of his little white dragon lackeys. So while they're dealing with the butterflies, he's dealing with his father, the white dragon. So, they kill Mern and he ends up killing his father. And the father, here's another section I forwarded through that I didn't see. The initial, the fight that injured Eagly. I didn't see how he injured Eagly, but I did see the Peacemaker shoot him square in the head. But they had to take Eagly to a vet. So this is where, at the vet, this is where the group, well, the rest of the group, the remainder of the group, gathers back together because Vigilante wants to kill the veterinarians who help heal Eagly, even because he's seen their faces, because he's crazy. So they put together a plan on how they were going to go and get the cow, and everybody is in on the, they're like, okay, I'm in. Everybody's in. And even the vets were like, yeah, we're in. Like, you ain't going. They tied him up and leave them behind. And then they take the veterinary truck van and ride it to the destination where the cow is. And of course, now that they don't have to worry about the father anymore since he's dead, they have his helmets again. The remainder of his helmets. So it doesn't matter that they have GPS trackers in them. So when they get to the location, I don't know why. Oh, they call Waller for backup. They want Waller to bring in the Justice League to help them. So Waller was like, okay, you send in, I guess, the main three, and you and Diebeard stay behind, talking to her daughter. So they put together a plan, and of course the plan goes sideways. And so, it's big, massive fight. Harcourt eventually goes down, and Adebayo has to come in to save her, and Adebayo ends up kicking some major ass. I was like, I can't believe it. Well, they were setting her up to be this the whole time, because they're like, she's Amanda Waller's daughter. She's made for this, blah, 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 blah. So naturally, she has some innate abilities to do this. So it came out when she really needed it. So, so she kicked a lot of ass, and between Harcourt, her, and Vigilante, they killed all of the butterflies, while Peacemaker went inside to try to kill the cow, and that's where Song and the police chief or whatnot, or I guess police captain, Butterfly, was inside with the cow. So he goes inside, and then eventually he has this conversation with Song, Butterfly, and she's like, wait, I don't want to hurt you. I'm going to have this conversation with you, and when you finish, you're going to be on my side like a little judo man. Because he wasn't a butterfly, but once she talked to him and told him what they were really trying to do, he joined up with them. So she started talking all this game about how they left their planet, and how they came here just to live, but saw how the humans were killing the planet and doing all this stuff, and harming the planet, global warming, blah 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 blah. So so they wanted to take over and sort of they wanted to take over and make things right, and sort of force the humans to do the right things by taking these positions of power. And the thing that they needed to do. I forget why, but they needed to protect the cow, and they needed to take her and send her to their main facility, teleport her to the main facility to protect her, blah, 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 blah. And she figured once she told um, Peacemaker her plan, he would help her. And, we needed 3 people to pull these levers to teleport her to Maine. So instead, he knew that Adebayo had on this helmet that once you said human, what do you call it? I think it's human cannonball or something like that. Human cannonball. Basically, it was basically like a human cannonball. She had on the helmet, and it turned her into a human cannonball, and it just shot her into the cow's body, which is gross and disgusting. She was fine, but she was covered in goo and grossness. Ugh. Ugh. They just love being gross on this show. It's like the grosser they can make it, the better. It's just, they love being gross on this show. So he killed the cow. And then I think he ends up killing Song and the other guy. And then they go up outside, and he sees Harcourt. He carries her out, carries her to the hospital, where they work on her. And of course, there's a montage because, like, she was shot in her side. She was shot in her side and her back, I think, and she had to learn how to walk all over again. So they do a montage showing her learning how to walk over again. And they show Adebayo doing a press conference, clearing everything up, clearing Peacemaker's name, and throwing her mom under the bus. Oh, I skipped over the most important part. As they were walking out, who shows up but the Justice League? The Justice League. They're all in shadow, of course, but as they're walking by, you see the outline of Aquaman, and I'm like, wait a minute. That's actual Jason Momoa. And he talks to them. And I'm like, wait, they brought on Jason Momoa? And it's Jason Momoa, and it's Ezra Miller. I'm like, had I known Jason Momoa was going to be in this, I would have watched this a long time ago. I would have watched this a long time ago if they told me Jason Momoa was going to be in this. But even if it was for just 2 seconds, but still, Jason Momoa, even in the shadows, it's still worth it. But yeah, Adebayo throws Amanda Waller under the bus. And so you get to see her watching on the TV going, oh my goodness. That was hilarious. And then finally, Peacemaker is sitting on his porch, and the goth butterfly comes down and comes down on the porch with him, and he pulls out the last of the goo that he has and pours it out for the alien, and alien, slurps it up. And then a hallucination of his father comes and sits on the porch with them. So, and that's how the show ends. That's how season 1 ends. with him sitting on his porch with his ego dropping a dead animal in front of him, an alien, and the hallucination of his dead father. So, um, it was better than I expected it to be. Um, it even had a cameo by Jason Momoa, and we love that. We love the Jason Momoa cameos. um, he seems to always be good for a cameo. We like that about him. Um, but yeah, this was these last three episodes. They were really good. Even though I forwarded through a lot of sections. I forwarded through a lot of sections because they were just too intense for me. They were too intense. But beyond the intensity of those sections, it was they it the show sort of ramped up. It started off goofy and it just sort of, I don't know, it just kept winding up, winding up. It just got better and better as it went along, you know? And I didn't pay attention to the earlier episodes, but every episode I saw after I started paying attention was written and directed by James Gunn. So he must have wrote and directed all of the episodes. So he must have planned it that way. He must have planned it that way to just start you off in this goofy place and to sort of catch you by surprise. And then next thing you know, to have the show start one way, then catch you by surprise and have it go a completely different way. It was good. I like it. And by watching this, I believe he has the range to do a lot of things. I think we were talking about um, his range earlier, and I do believe he has the range. And I think we'll see it once we'll definitely see it once we see his Superman. But I think because this is, even though this is sort of like an offshoot of the Suicide Squad, but this still did a lot. It still did a lot, and it wasn't exactly like the Suicide Squad. I mean, it was still gross, which was like Suicide Squad, but it had a lot of heart. The Peacemaker, who as a character, who I just originally just did not like, no matter how much you tried to give him the heart of gold, I was like, okay, fine. You want to redeem him? Okay, fine. Make him redeemable. Because I was like, of all the characters they could have brought back, Flag, but they brought back him. So, but he made it work. He made it work. And I was surprised by how well it worked, but it worked. So, so tomorrow is Ahsoka. So that's what I'll be talking about on Wednesday. Wednesday we'll be talking about Ahsoka. Friday will be another video. And yeah, we'll see you on Wednesday talking about some Star Wars. And if you want to figure out like the Star Wars timeline, I did last um, Friday. I did a video where I sort of laid out the Star Wars timeline of movies and TV shows. That sort of, so it should help orient you when watching Ahsoka, to let you know, okay, this is where this lays on the Star Wars timeline. So, but that is all. But in the meanwhile, thanks for watching.